Good morning. My name is Tepo Mongwai and welcome. This is Bottom Line. Every Monday this time around we talk markets and trading. It's been an eventful week on JSE, which saw the index at fresh high. It may start to sound like a broken record, but the Allshare Index was on firmer footing on Friday, tracking stronger trading activity in some of the developed markets. Well, let's make sense of the performance on the local bourse that happened in the week. And of course, we saw the Allshare Index rally to a record close on Friday at 100,855 level. And of course, this was off the day's record high of 100,001,000. It was the mining stocks that helped push the JSE to a record high as risk appetite remains on track. Stock markets here and elsewhere have shrugged off the Trump impact of tariffs. Here at home, Reserve Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago told the bank's annual general meeting that the U.S. tariffs could have a modest impact on local growth. Let's take a listen.
In South Africa, our preliminary assessment is that tariffs and other uncertainties in the global economy are causing modest damage to growth while leaving inflation broadly unchanged. The U.S. is a large trading partner for South Africa, but it is not as important as Europe, China, or the Southern African Development Community. Our exports to the U.S. mostly consist of commodities, some of which are exempted, and manufactured products such as cars. Some parts of the agricultural sector are exposed, but total agricultural exports are only about 3% of our total exports to the U.S. In our latest forecast round, we factored in a higher tariff rate. This moved our growth projection for the year down by about 0.1 percentage point.
Well, traders will be on watch for any new developments on the 30% duty for local exports into the United States. The rand, meanwhile, lost some grounds on a Friday. Let's see how the local currency did perform. It firmed to 17.67 to the US dollar in early trade on Friday before weakening to around 17.74. Well, expectations of a rate cut in the US are expected to support gold and, by extension, the local currency. Let's take a look at that particular gold, and the yellow metal, of course, is expected to get some support from the development as far as the trade is concerned. Well, a slew of local economic data out this week is expected. On Tuesday, Stats SA will release the second quarter unemployment numbers. The joblessness rate is expected to remain elevated at 32%, and we'll get a sense of sectors that would have contributed to the increase in unemployment and which are creating jobs. We also have mining production for the month of June, and the state of consumer will come under the spotlight with retail sales numbers out on Tuesday. Standard Bank will have their numbers out on Thursday. Well, now we turn our focus on trading. In our Traders Corner this morning, we are joined virtually by Anastasia Mashile, who's a retail trader. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us so early in the morning, Anastasia.
Good morning, Tepo, and thank you for having me.
Well, we've seen record rallies in global equities, including the JSE. As a retail trader, what does this mean for you?
So it means that the index is doing quite good. It signals strength, and the market, especially on the tech industry, it signals a lot of strength, and that means that it raises questions on sustainability and evaluation on investor behavior. So we might have some turns in the market for new entries for us, the retail investors.
For people who are not in the market or do not have some exposure in the market, what would you say in terms of, does it have any bearing? How does this affect them?
Remember that before the market hits somewhere, with retail traders, we've learned that you must buy low. You must actually buy on the lowest, sell on the highest. So for people who don't have much information about the market, they must keep this in mind. Everything that goes up must come down to pick up orders so that you can actually invest your money on the lowest point to the highest point.
In this current volatile market, what would you say are some of the challenges facing in people like yourself as a retail trader?
Oh, yes. This is a very wonderful question. Thank you for that. I know that most of the people that are trading and are exposed to the market are people who are handling hedge funds. So for us retail traders, we only have so much to invest in the market, which is very little, and we need to make most out of it. So most of the time, we need to be sure about the entry so that we do not lose our accounts whereby we have invested so much. So for a retail trader, you need to be very careful where you take your entries and where you move on when you are looking at your indexes. Yes, you need to be very careful.
Well, Anastasia, we're in a new week. What would you say that you'll be looking out for to inform your trading strategy?
Okay, so I've been looking out for gold since it has been ranging between $3,200 and $3,400. Sentiments are it will reach 3,700. So the minute we break the 3,400 mark, we are headed to 3,700.
All right, thank you very much, Anastasia Mashile, retail trader, joining us in our Traders Corner. Well, join us next week here on Morning Live. This is Bottom Line.